Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Artist Collective Lockdown Live. Yes, in this current Corona season, we are taking everything that we do at the Artist Collective events and putting them online. Now, if you've ever been to an event of ours, you know that we will host discussions, live panel discussions where we talk about issues that are pertinent to the artist and entertainment community. Now, what we want to do is make sure that we're taking that content, those nuggets of gold, and putting them online for you to view from home. I don't need to stress that we are in this season of coronavirus and we are deciding to take social distancing and isolation really seriously. And so as a result, we want to make sure that you can access what we do online. Now, importantly, if you have any issues that you want to talk to us about, any issues that you think we should be discussing in these online discussions, why not drop us a message? You can follow us on social media at Artist Collective LDN. We would love to hear from you, and please do spread the word to other creatives you know, friends, and anyone else who you think would benefit from being a part of this online community. Take care. Hey guys, how you doing? So we've got an incredible chat lined up for you, and we have some incredible panelists to really just talk on this issue. So first of all, we have Ben Hale. Bro, what do you do?
I am a sound engineer and work in production, all the backstage bits of events, gigs, shows, all of that kind of stuff that you see going
So
on.
you do some pretty big tours across the world?
Yeah, the last few years, definitely been traveling globally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty cool.
Aisha, West End performer, star of Tina Turner the musical. Who did you play?
I play Tina.
Oh yeah. Bit of a star, if I can say.
Oh.
And then we have Adapt, rapper. Bro, tell us a bit about your music.
I mainly work in the dance sector, drum and bass as a frontman MC, hype man.
Nice.
Just touring with DJs and raving all across the world.
So you guys are on the front line when it comes to the creative industries, the entertainment industry. Coronavirus, we are in lockdown, social reduction, social isolation. Ben, how has it affected what you do?
I reckon since it all started, I was actually away at the time when my first show got cancelled. We'd done sound check and all of this kind of stuff, and promoter comes and lets us know that tonight's show's not going ahead. So,
And for a bit of context, you were in Oslo on a European tour.
yeah.
So that's major, like a big European tour. You're loving it. You're with a chart-topping artist, and you find yourself in a situation where work for the foreseeable future is cancelled.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
I guess at the time you're wondering, is it just this show? Is it every show? Like, how serious is this gonna be? So I don't think immediately everything kicked in. Like, I don't think the reality kicked in of where we are now a couple of weeks later.
Yeah. So you've been processing that for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think over the last couple of weeks, it's definitely as more and more people have kind of taken whatever measures they're taking at this time. It's very like basically everything's getting cancelled on a daily basis for like longer and longer. So
now, obviously, what you do is essentially about people gathering. It's events, things that will not be happening for at least the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
How is that impacting your personal life in terms of money, family, livelihood, survival?
So I'm self-employed. I've been working for myself. You effectively live gig to gig. The way you work, if you're not working, you're not earning.
Yeah.
And if you're not earning, you're not paying your rent or your mortgage, or there's no food on the table.
Wow.
Whatever.
So, as a bloke, we're not used to being vulnerable, but how are you coping emotionally in this season?
I feel like I'm still processing that one.
Yeah.
As a guy, I've always put like a lot of probably weight on myself for providing for my family.
Yeah.
Still processing how not being the main breadwinner for my family works.
That's quite an admission. So you're married, I know, and you've got a mortgage. It's quite an admission to say that you're no longer the main breadwinner. How's that been for you to almost have your role as a husband relegated a bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that one's sinking in. I guess conversations with my wife on how we're going to manage this time financially are really important. I think one thing that was important was when we got married, we decided that it's our money rather than her money and my money.
Yeah.
So that possibly makes this transition a bit easier. I say transitional, whatever it is, a bit easier.
What is this?
Whatever this is.
Yeah.
But not being the person that brings the majority sum of money to the table is weird.
Yeah. I'm going to just come to you guys in a bit, but what's quite interesting about you, Ben, is that you have a mortgage. So on a very practical level, how are you now dealing with that?
So we've had to look at how much money do we physically have coming to the table, and what are our outgoings. We've always been pretty. My wife has been good at budgeting. That's not my forte. But we've had to be very open about what is coming in, what is coming out, and how do we survive, and how long do we survive, and what plans are we going to make sure we can do this, get through the other side.
And that sense of the unknown is something that people across the country, across the world, will be currently going through, especially creatives, especially freelancers in these sectors. Adapt. So you're a rapper. You've had to sign on to Universal Credit.
I did, yeah. So yesterday I was down the job centre, and I think I got in there quite quick. I not really freaked out, but just got straight into action. I knew that there was no more invoices getting paid. There was no more income. That was it. As soon as I got the call from the management saying all shows are cancelled now for at least 3 months, could be longer. Yeah. Some are postponed into the end of the year. So straight away, your survival techniques just kicks in.
And you have a family as well.
I've got a wife and a little 3-year-old boy. Yeah. So as the only breadwinner, I'm the only source of income in my household. Amazing. So it's a lot of strain. And there was no backup. It was like, right, let's just do what I got to do. So yeah, signed on for Universal Credit. So I'll be getting the minimum wage. Wow. And that's it. So.
And for people who don't know, that is the benefit system essentially.
Income benefit, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is that normally it takes very long for people to get their Universal Credit. It can take up to 6 weeks. How was it for you?
Actually, not as bad as what I've heard it could have been in the past. I've never done it before, so it was all new to me. So I went online, signed up, put in the details. They said you need to come into the job centre for an interview. So I did that yesterday with my wife. She was able to get, a little bit of support as well, childcare support on top of that. Yeah. So it won't bring in a great deal, but they did say they're being a lot more relaxed. A lot of the protocols and strictness of what it normally takes to process this, they're being a little bit more chilled out about it because of the circumstance. So.
And you've already been given a sum of money, haven't you?
I've been given an advance. You can apply for an advance if you say you really need money now to see you over until the actual regular monthly payments kick in. So they were great, and that went in immediately to the bank account. So there is hope there, and I think a lot of people are scared about it, and some people have even said they're embarrassed to do that. But I just think at this point in time, if that is your only option for now, you just got to man up and do it. That's what I had to do.
Yeah, totally. So you're finding that the benefit systems become easier to access, and that's obviously very reassuring for a lot of people who will need to rely on that. And it's really important what you said about the stigma. I think for a lot of people, especially creatives, where what you do, it has a sense of pride, a sense of status and stature. You're now having to go and sign on. Yeah. How have you dealt with the ego that's associated with that?
In all honesty, I think my wife struggled with it more. I think she found it a bit more of a embarrassing thing, or she didn't want to shout about it. But I kind of just see it as, if it's your only option, or if it's the best option at that time, you just got to do it. And I think you've got to lay your ego aside. And if you are you have a public profile in some ways, and actually just by being honest and open and vulnerable and saying this is my situation. I've had people DMing me on Instagram, and so-called fans and followers just saying, I love this, I respect this, and more people need to see this and hear this. And I didn't realise it was having that positive effect.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
people are actually going, okay, right, I need to do this. And people have asked me, friends, and how do I do it? How do I do the process, and what's the protocol? So it's helping, which is great, I guess.
Brilliant. Aisha,
Yeah.
so you have been a star in the West End, this big production of Tina Turner the musical, you find out that it gets cancelled.
Yeah.
How's that been for you?
For me, it was. We have what we call a cast change. So each year we have new people come in, or sometimes older cast stay. So we had two blows. It was, okay, shows are cancelled. How are we gonna do financially for everyone in the cast? People who work behind the scenes as well.
Yeah.
And then it was their opening night, or it was our opening night on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who haven't actually been on the West End yet, and now have their like their West End debut now suspended.
So they're about to start
literally
the show.
about
It gets
to start.
dropped. It gets cancelled.
Yeah. So we were actually dark on the Monday that's the day we were told we're not going ahead, and then the Tuesday was meant to be opening night for everyone. Yeah.
So for the team, that must have been a real, drop in terms of morale.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has stuck together. Everyone's rallied together. Everyone's talking on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
FaceTime and phone calls.
Staying connected. That must be really important.
Yeah. So that was a double blow for people.
Financially, how you doing?
Financially, I have savings.
Yeah.
Of course, people have just paid their tax bill. This first tax bill, I was actually put in a different tax bracket, so I've actually paid more tax than I've ever paid before. Yeah. And now I pay VAT. So because
you're a freelancer, and that's really important, that a lot of creatives, a lot of you guys watching will be dealing with these issues of tax, as well as having to pay your rent, making ends meet at this current time with this lockdown.
So that is a bit like, okay, so what do I have in my savings?
Wow.
What can I live off? My fortunate thing is I live at home, so I don't necessarily live with my mum, so I don't pay the big bulk of rent. There is contribution to it. And my mum's also a teacher, so she's actually in schools working with the kids who have to come to school because of the jobs their parents do. So that is a comfort for the family and for the house.
So relatively speaking, it sounds like you're in a bit more of a favourable position in that you do have some money locked up.
Yeah, we just don't know how much money we're now going to get paid.
Yeah.
Because in this industry of theatre, musical theatre, usually you get paid on a weekly basis.
Right.
So we're actually in discussions with our equity debts, we're in discussions with SALT and Equity.
These are unions,
about what our pay's going to look like. There are 3 options, I believe, that they can take, and we still don't know what that is, but we should find out today.
You okay? You dealing with it? You coping on a mental level?
In all honesty, I feel a bit like the anomaly because myself with the show and a few others of us, we've been doubling up with rehearsals and shows. So at this moment in time, I'm like, oh, I can breathe.
You get a break.
I can recuperate. Yeah. And that's how I'm taking this time. I don't know how long that's going to last for.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm kind of taking the positiveness of it.
So you're trying to see this as a bit of an opportunity to recalibrate, rest.
Yeah.
When it comes to us as people in the entertainment media industry, there is stature with what we do. There's a status, you rock up to your office, Aisha, you are Tina, people are paying to see you, you get fans, you get followers, likewise with you. Adapt as a rapper. Ben, you get to tour with artists who have a lot of status. In this season, it's gone.
Yeah.
Is there an issue in terms of identity when it comes to the current season that we're in?
I do think a lot of people's identity will get marred in some way. I think a lot of people are gonna, it's like a hard pill to swallow, kind of just being like, okay, so who now am I as this artist that's been put on a platform or a pedestal and people look up to in certain ways and creative ways or whatever.
Is that something you're dealing with?
A little bit, I guess. I'd never really see myself as a star in that sense. So I don't,
sure, but you're going from
my mum does.
Thanks, Mum. Shout out to the mums. You're going from being a rapper to now potentially having to find work that's less desirable, if we're being honest.
I mean, I've been looking at jobs in supermarkets, stacking shelves, and warehouse jobs, just to do what I do. Which, I think the pride thing gets knocked a little bit. But if anything, I just miss what I do. Well, it's quite early days still, but I know like I'm supposed to have a gig tomorrow night. You know, weekend after weekend, I'm normally out on the road and touring and doing what I love and expressing myself and releasing that creativity and that energy. My wife notices when I get like a weekend off and I'm not at a gig or I'm not touring. She's like, oh, you're itching, you're getting cold feet, you want to get out there again, and she knows. So I think that side of it for a lot of people, and just your identity, your purpose, and that's what I normally do, and I can't do that.
I guess it truly tests where you base yourself, where your identity's in. I mean, is it in the public persona that you have?
Yeah.
Is it in something different? I guess this next season's really going to kind of reveal that, isn't it, Aisha?
Yeah. I think what I've seen, especially on social media, is I've seen creatives taking initiative and taking advantage of this time. So I have people who are doing or advertising themselves as a vocal accent coach. Wow. People who do dance classes are doing dance classes online, are doing yoga sessions online for the live videos on Instagram. And you can really see, for now, the impact it's having on people. People are saying, oh, I'm doing this class at this time, and I'm going to do yoga at 5 a.m. in the morning just to kind of center myself, which I think is beautiful, and people still get to create. And
also, sorry, but also on that, I've known people that wouldn't consider themselves as creative at all. They're now housebound, and they might be for a few months, and they're working from home, but they've still got hobby time and downtime. I'm going to learn guitar. I'm going to learn a new language, and all these courses are available now online. Actually, that gives a new whole world and a new platform for us as creatives to kind of share our skills and our experience. For the good of other people, and whether or not you pay per view or whatever, or courses, sign up, or you just do it for free, it's still an outlet. I mean, we're fortunate that we're going through this at a time where media and social media is still a thing. You know, it's like people back in the day were going through this with no contact, literally isolation. We've got media, we've got internet, we've got those outlets.
On the issue of kind of solutions and how people are trying to make the best of this, I mean, Ben, how have you approached it so far?
I definitely had to be creative in how I can earn money, how I can spend my time, all of these kind of things, because for the last however long, earning money has meant going somewhere and performing a task. But now there isn't so much of that, so I've had to think of other ways. I've been chatting with friends on, I don't know, but ways I can get involved in bits of business, and what can I do at home that will do that. I think there's a lot of ways that like you can collaborate with people, with other creatives. Like you can think of new ways to do that. Previously you'd go to someone's studio or you'd go and do something with someone, but actually there are ways to do that online. There's ways to do that. Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Kind of looking at some of those ideas.
And as well as sort of maintaining creative expression, you've also got the issue of maintaining mental well-being and making sure that you're looking after yourself. Aisha, how's that been for you? No longer Tina at the West End for at least the next 3 months.
I'm cool with it. No, I'm cool. The biggest thing for me, and the thing that's been playing on my mind, is to not lose discipline. Do not use your discipline in what you do.
What do you mean by that?
So in the sense of, okay, for example, singing Tina and doing Tina physically is a big gig for me. I have to be fit. I have to be on top of my game. And although 3 months might be like, yep, great, cool, I can relax, it's, am I still doing my vocal exercises? Am I still singing every day? Am I still singing the songs I need to sing? Am I still keeping fit to whatever capacity that I can? Not losing that integrity, because I have hope and complete faith that things will get back. For me, the music entertainment industry has always been an escapism for people. And so I believe and I hope that when things do get back on track, those are the things that people are going to be going to. People are going to want to hopefully go to a gig and come to the theatre again, and even go and watch a movie and just be sparked by someone else's creativity. And I really hope that is the what will happen, the outcome of this, and people actually realizing how important gigs are and how much how important people who are self-employed in the entertainment industry are. I think a lot of people deem it as, oh, it's not a real job.
Yeah.
But now it's like, Glastonbury's cancelled.
Yeah.
This is cancelled. That's cancelled. This was my outlet. This was my
I think
let go.
like music and entertainment has always been a thing. You know, back thousands of years, music and entertainment was a thing. It's not going to die.
Yeah.
It's just going to have to take a new form for
Yeah.
a bit of time,
Yeah.
and nobody knows how that's going to look, which is also kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things are being forced into. Even my financial situation has made me check all my bills and check what's coming in and what's going out, and way better than I probably
More prudent.
have done. Yeah, and it's kind of making people really address things that they've kind of probably pushed aside or hidden, and even creative things in a creative way. I know friends that have wanted to do a thing for ages and they've not actually put their mind to it or put their time to it because they've been distracted by just their day-to-day. But when that's thrown out, you can do new things. So it will open up a whole new world of amazing things as well, if we look at it from a positive side.
It's interesting what you say, Aisha, about people kind of feeling validated in the current climate as a creative because there's no demand for the services. But as you say, at some point, those services will be in high demand.
Yeah.
In terms of people and how they're feeling mentally, what advice would you give? And this is to all of you.
Do something. Anything.
Try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think staying in community as much as you can, like even in your isolation, like you remember who your friends are, and call them, FaceTime, whatever.
Help, but just providing help. I think there's so many ways you can help people, even being in isolation. Just picking up the phone. You doing okay?
Make yourself available.
Delivering food. Just taking food around.
But that is a really
people.
interesting point. Are you doing okay? Because I would say that if you've had a stature as a performer, you often feel the pressure to keep up appearance.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Have this bravado, act as if everything's okay. Even now in this very new time we're in, it would be tempting for many creatives to act as if they're cool because they want to maintain that public profile.
Yeah.
What would you say to those people?
Get real.
Cry if need to.
Cry, but that's...
Go through emotional ranges. I think people are scared to go through emotional ranges. I myself know that I've been sat in my room and just sat with my own thoughts. And
Have you had to cry?
I haven't cried yet, but I know I've been sifting through emotions and just as grateful as I am for this time now, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I know right now, this time, I'm grateful for a break.
Yeah.
But I do go through my emotions because sometimes I go outside if I need to go and get milk or whatever, and it's eerie outside, and you just think, oh, okay, so it is real. It's not a dream. It really is happening. And then you hear other people's experience, and you think, oh my God, I feel really sorry for these people, elderly people going through stuff, and news is constantly coming in, so you're just like, oh, what do I do with this? How do it affects you? It will affect you.
But it's also tempting to not really pay mind to what you're going through, because you might think to yourself, well, I don't have coronavirus, I'm not, this isn't going to be fatal for me, so you might even downplay what you're going through. But the importance of actually kind of going through that period of feeling a bit vulnerable, feeling a bit insecure, actually could be really healthy for the long term.
I think it's the fear and the uncertainty are the two biggest things that play on people's minds, because we don't know how long it's going to last. We're told 3 months, it could be a year, and so I think you just got to take each day as it comes, put things in place, stay strong, encourage each other, look out for people, and because there's a lot of people that will feel lonely and isolated and really down, and they won't show it, like you say. They'll try and put on a brave face, and it's dangerous. That's quite a big issue. So economy and mental health, I think, are the two. The virus itself is kind of on the side. Those two subjects are huge.
I think mental health's been talked about so much, like in the last 6 months anyway, and especially in our in the creative industry. How do people deal with that? And I guess now is a real time to put into practice everything that's been discussed or learned or anything like that. And like you said, cool, I've signed on. How many people are gonna go, that's quite a big statement for someone to make, right? But that's like a lot. Other people are able to be that vulnerable. That's almost a challenge as well, I suppose. And it's okay to say that, and then for someone to be like, can I help you with that? Or
Yeah.
like you say, you've had people DM you and be like,
Yeah.
I can help you out. And it's
I think we're all vulnerable in
Yeah.
certain ways.
everybody is, yeah.
And it's like, don't be afraid to show that, and actually through that vulnerability, you're going to get more help and you're going to be stronger.
Yeah.
So, but if you're hiding it,
Have you guys given thought to whether you would be able to sustain your jobs as creatives after this season of, well, what we could call reduction isolation?
For me, my situation is in the hands of other people, because
How's that for you? How does that feel?
It does have you on the edge, because you're constantly waiting for what are you going to drop us? Are you going to cancel our contracts? Because I know people have had their contracts cancelled. Wow. Because
Brutal.
because it's they have a short contract coming up and they're told to mail scripts back, and some things have been postponed, some things
And
are
for
just
many, that
completely
would have been
cancelled
their
and cut.
big break. That would have been like their life moment in terms of a career in.
Or even many friends of mine who finished Tina with me in the last contract, had jobs to go to, and now it's just, sorry, it's been cancelled. And for them, they're not in my situation. They don't know when their next source of income is gonna come in. So everything for me, even though I am self-employed, I'm employed by my employees for a contract and period amount of time. But that's, again, it's all in their hands.
I'm kind of thinking like, how is it going to be like a gradual bounce back? Like our event's going to be half full when it comes to it. Are people still going to be apprehensive about coming to the theatre?
I thought about that.
Going to events and still mass groups and things. So is it going to be weird for a moment, or is it literally going to bounce back? Everyone's ready to party and get entertained.
That's the reality. This is an unknown, and there's no way to sugarcoat that. Like, we're in this together, aren't we, for the long term? What would be your takeaway advice to any creative who might be feeling quite insecure in this current climate?
If you know my Instagram handle, you can give me a call, DM me, message me.
It's nice, good to know.
Just
reach out.
Yeah,
reach out.
We just have to, and if you, as a performer, if you already have a platform, you can still use your platform. So use it for other people.
Lovely, yeah, nice.
You're not of no use. People need you. People look to you. I still get people saying, "Oh, that's really nice. We're so still supporting you." And so people, just because this has gone down, people don't forget about you. You're still valued. You're still thought about. So just put yourself out there. Make funny videos. Make yourself laugh. Make some memes. I mean, memes are my friends right now.
Think outside the box.
How about you, Ben?
I feel like it's an opportunity to do lots of bits that you haven't got around to doing. That
Real talk.
Fixing your motorbike.
Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna do the garden,
Oh, there you go.
That's been neglected.
That's brilliant. And how about you with that?
I'd just say, just really kind of, like I say, try something new. Just whatever it is, even as a creative, like I want to try and learn a different skill that I'm normally set to, because you've got the time and you've got the space, and just look out for one another, and by doing that, you'll get some rewarding from that.
Oh, what a chat, guys. Thanks for coming. Really hope that this chat has helped you guys watching. Remember, you can follow us on social media at Artist Collective LDN on Instagram and Twitter. If you have any issues that you want us to explore in these chats online, please do message us. We want to hear about what's important to you. And as Adam said, I think we should all reach out to each other, make sure that everyone's supported and that no creative is feeling isolated in this current season. Thank you so much for listening. Really hope that helped you. Take care.